Arnab Arnab is having an extensive experience in performance testing. He is currently serving in Cognizant as a non-functional test lead with 11 years of experience. He would be talking more on a performance evaluation strategy of multi-access edge computing. I feel this topic is make a lot of sense these days, as a usage of a mobile and smart devices has increased exponentially due to the latest technologies such as IoT, AR, VR, and due to which there is a lot of lags in the network issues, right? So, taking not much of your time, Arnab, handing over to you. Can you please probably handing over to you?
Yeah, thanks. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to share my screen just now.
Sure.
Please let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yep, it's visible. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So in this session, I'm going to briefly explain about what is multi-access edge computing or mobile access edge computing, as it was previously told, and what are the advantages and challenges of a MEC system, how we can propose a suitable performance and deployment model, and what should be the testing approach and test environment setup for a particular use case of the edge computing, and the outcome and conclusion from that test approach, and what are the current use cases for MEC systems. So moving on to the next slide, which is what is multi-access edge computing? So it is a distributed computing system which moves the computation of data traffic and services from a centralized cloud to the edge of the network and closer to the customer. Instead of sending all data to the cloud for processing, and the network edge analyzes, processes, and stores the data. Collecting and processing data closer to the customer provides few advantages like data proximity, ultra low latency, high bandwidth, and virtualization. So to achieve these advantages, the service providers are creating distributed data centers or distributed clouds. The resources that make up a cloud can reside anywhere, from a centralized data center to a sales site, a central office, and aggregation site, or even the customer premises itself. So as we can understand, there will be certain benefits for the MEC systems, right? So the first one is obviously the scalability. So expanding data collection and analysis no longer requires companies to establish centralized private data centers, which is really expensive to build, maintain, and replace when it's time to grow in the future. So by combining co-location services with regional edge computing data centers, organizations can expand their edge network really quickly and cost effectively. As they grow, the flexibility of leveraging edge computing capabilities allows them to adapt quickly to evolving markets and scale their data and computing needs more efficiently. The next most significant benefit edge provides us is the speed with which it makes us able to increase network performance by reducing latency. Since IoT edge computing devices process data locally or in nearby edge data centers, the information they collect does not have to travel nearly as far as it would under a traditional cloud architecture to the centralized data center in a particular availability zone or region. So by processing data closer to the source and reducing the physical distance it must travel, edge computing can greatly reduce latency, which means the end user can get the data in less time with more speed. Also, this localization of data processing provides another advantage in terms of security. Since more data is being processed on the local devices rather than transmitting it back to a central data center, the amount of data which are at risk at a single point of time is very low. There is less data to be intercepted during transit, And even if a particular device is compromised, it will only contain the data it has collected locally, rather than the entirety of data that could be exposed by a compromised central server. The next advantage for Edge is the versatility of the processors of the systems. This, and it is aided by the scalability factor of the Edge. So by partnering with the local Edge data centers, organizations can easily target desirable markets which having to invest in without having to invest in expensive infrastructure expansion. So these edge data centers allows the organization to service end user more efficiently with minimal physical distance or latency. And this is especially valuable for content-driven providers like streaming services looking to deliver uninterrupted service to the consumer. The next one is the reliability factor of the edge. As we have already told, the security advantage that the edge computing system provides in terms of data processing, we can also understand that it offers better reliability as well. With IoT edge computing devices and edge data centers positions closer to end users, there is less chance of a network problem in a distant locations affecting the service to the local customers. And all these factors contribute to one of the most attractive feature advantage of the edge computing, that is the cost effectiveness. Even though there are these advantages, there are few challenges that this multi-access edge computing systems poses to us. The first one being the network traffic throughput is unpredictable, because edge computing clouds are intrinsically local, and it has a smaller scale. So it is subject to larger fluctuations in offering traffic due to factors such as correlated events or user mobility at the consumer part. The next challenge is the heterogeneity in bandwidth and computing resources. So as you can understand, Edge provides the power of data processing more towards at the consumer location. And we can easily understand that not all the users or consumers will have same network bandwidth to process the data, and which will provide an heterogeneity in data computing capability of the Edge. The last one being the unique nature of the distributed edge cloud system, which poses a key design challenge, such as how to specify a unified control plane for a distributed edge, or how to do a effective load balancing of the data traffic, how to orchestrate the computing functions and related network routing of data, etc. So with these challenges in place, we need to provide a suitable solution to do a performance evaluation for the edge computing system. The recent integration between mobile computing, edge computing, and cloud computing have provided development of complex mobile edge cloud applications. These computing systems and its deployments are quite new. There are lack of techniques and knowledges available about possible deployment, configuration, and performance evaluation. So to present our analytics of performance and data quality in mobile edge cloud applications, we need to choose a suitable use case. Suppose we have an autonomous vehicle where there are services available which provides the user data about upcoming cars in a particular road and what should be the optimum speed to turn in those particular curves. So to simulate such scenarios, we select cornering assistance applications, or which is called like mobile edge cloud cornering assistance application, or MACCAP. Clients hosted in vehicles connect to a service registry to find a recommendation service, which is which is responsible for recommending these suitable speeds for all upcoming curves around a given location. The recommendation is based on the location data provided by the clients itself. To calculate a recommended speed, these recommendation services needs information about upcoming curves and the current weather. So an external database is used to store these particular data permanently about the curves and location data and also the weather, and is queried as a cache by recommendation service. Since this database will be accessed from multiple services running on multiple edges, it needs to be highly available, scalable, and easily maintainable. In case of database has no curve stored yet, a detection service is requested to detect and calculate detailed information about upcoming curves based on two factors. One is the location data, including the location of the clients given by the recommendation service, and the map data from a third-party external maps provider. In Make-Ka, a service registry is needed to support services for discovery of various service instances, as we may have many instances for all these recommendation services. To enable high scalability and support the underlying edge cloud infrastructure, these services can be deployed to different containers or virtual machine nodes. And these nodes will export metrics about their current resources usage to the monitoring system, which can be accessible by the end users as well. And to support this performance model, we need to finalize how this model should be deployed for a test environment architecture. Two main models are considered for edge deployment. One is a cloud-based deployment model, where all the services are deployed in clouds, whereas clients are in the mobile devices. There are two distinguished cases. The application owner can deploy the services either in the different data centers along with the third-party services, or in the same data center. The next model is the edge cloud deployment model, where the application services are deployed in both the edge and the cloud. Similarly, the services might be co-located or not with the third-party services. So the first model, that is the cloud deployment model, is very useful for our testing hypothesis because of its design because we can detect suitable services in the cloud that can be migrated to the edge or optimized for cloud deployment. Okay. So next, after the deployment model is finalized, we need to decide on the test approach and the test environment which should be used. So the core assumption behind a MEC testing strategy is a steady increase of throughput with more clients, with adding more clients to the edge network. And the key performance metrics for this kind of autonomous vehicle simulation application will be response time, response ratio, and result ratio. So what is the response time in this particular case? It is the average time between all the recommendation requests which are sent and all the received responses, be it successful or not. And this is used to measure the performance of the services itself. Result time. The result time is the average time between all sent recommendation requests and only the successful received responses that contains the curve data and what should and the location data. Response ratio is the ratio of all sent requests to any received response. It is used to measure the reliability of the messages. And finally, the result ratio, which is the actual ratio of all sent requests to the successful curve responses. This is used to measure the accuracy of the analytics system, which is present as a backend engine. So to achieve this test, we can set up an environment using Docker and cloud instances, cloud virtual machine instances. In our case, we have use Dockers to host the services in the containerized environment, and it will be configured to point to the developer networks. It requires a certain amount of RAM and specific TCP ports. It increases level of participations of a user to the network and reduces any reliance on third-party nodes. And we have used Amazon EC2 instances where the edges will be set up as EC2 Linux instances. Once the server has been started, Docker will be installed and the Docker container for one of the nodes will be pulled from a Docker image repository. And these EC2 instances can be saved as Amazon machine image or AMI, and these images can be used for future baseline tests where it will use one node for each solution. And finally, these images can be added to an auto-scaling group, which can then increase the number of node instances to the desired number of clients to the target throughput. Onto the test data and the performance analysis section. As part of the testing setup, we need to consider what kind of input data are required for this particular application. So for an autonomous vehicle where we want to recommend optimum speed for an upcoming curve, we need real-time tracks data by extracting real trip informations like timestamp, latitude, longitude. And then we need to baseline the data. We need to have some baseline data where we will use a set of measure curves from the past and we'll compare the output of our testing with those baseline data. Lastly, we'll need the third-party services which are used to receive the map location data. By using the features of standard cloud environments, it's really easier to increase or decrease the number of clients to try to achieve the desired throughput of the system. It has been observed in some of the simulation experience for this particular application with the kind of architecture in place which I told in the previous slide. The simulation prototype can handle up to 2,000 clients where it can accurately predict an optimum speed for an upcoming curve. And beyond this point, the performance of the entire prototype starts to diminish. So even if the response time is low due to the low latency characteristics of the edge system, the ratio of getting successful response starts to decrease. So due to the cloud capabilities, we can extrapolate these values for a full-fledged system to provide a fair idea of scalability, transaction throughput, and cost and responsiveness. This was about the how we can set up a performance evaluation strategy for a MEC model. Finally, what are the few use cases for edge computing? The first one, which I have already discussed, that is the autonomous vehicles. What should be an optimum speed for a particular curve which is coming in the next 10 meters? Or if a pedestrian is crossing in front of the vehicle, what decision it should make. So all these kind of decisions cannot rely on response from a remote data center. It has to be processed locally in the device system. So in this case, edge computing will be very much useful. Next one will be the healthcare devices. So we all know, like the recent smartwatches are coming with exciting features for health conditions. Like it can measure blood pressure, heart rate. It can take ECG prints. All these data are processed locally in the device, and whenever required, the nearby caregivers can be alerted automatically from these devices for certain health conditions. So in this case also, edge computing can be very useful because the processing of the data and to make a decision should be very instantaneous in terms of a critical health failures. The next one will be the security solutions. So edge can provide stronger security solutions because in case of security threats, it is really necessary to respond within a very limited amount of time. And so it can, so if edge computing enabled security systems can identify potential threats and alert users to unusual activity in real time. So we know, like we have smart security cameras which can be hosted at our front door, which can provide in any image to our smart watches. So all these systems can be benefited by edge computing. The next one is the retail advertising. So targeted ads and information for retail organizations are based on key parameters such as demographic information set on field devices. In this use case, edge computing can help protect user privacy. It can encrypt the data and keep the source rather than sending unprotected information to the cloud. Fifth one should be smart speakers. So smart speakers can gain the ability to interpret voice instructions locally in order to run basic commands. So if I have installed smart lights in my home, we can turn it off and on using the smart speakers, or adjust the thermostat settings, even if there is limited or no internet connectivity. And one of the most significant use case of edge computing is the streaming devices. In where a streaming service is providing interactive video experience, like providing the filmography of an actor in a particular web series, or providing real-time statistics about a baseball game or football games. So these data are needed to be instantaneous to the user, and in these cases as well, edge can play a significant role. Yeah, so that's all which I wanted to share about the edge computing. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to take.
Great session, Arnab. Great session. Thank you so much for sharing all the things. I would request audience if they have any sort of questions. Nope. So in that case, probably I would love to have a couple of questions from my end. With regards to key performance metrics, Arnab, you mentioned about the response time, result time. So what are the parameters to measure such key performance metrics?
Yes, so again, this will be applicable from case to case, right? So in case of autonomous, the particular example which we discussed here is it will provide us a recommendation for an optimum speed at a particular at an upcoming curve. So for that, we need the response time is how fast that recommendation service can provide response to you to us as a consumer. And the result time is how accurate is that, how accurately it can respond in a short amount of time. So obviously the response time will only depend on the architecture of the service, but the result time will depend on latitude data, exact latitude data, exact longitude data of that curve. What is the particular location, and if there are any previous data available about those curves.
Okay, so the follow-up question on that, right? Do we have any defaulted value being finalized by any of the organizations that this could be the best response time, what we can call it off, or this could be the best result time we can call it off?
No, I have not come across any such examples, because these kind of use cases are quite new, and still the edge computing is a very explored in its exploratory phase actually. So different organizations are currently exploring on the how we can optimize the use of edge computing. So I have not come across any set of benchmark we have here.
Okay. So based on your experience you had so far in your journey, right? What is the best time for you in that case?
It should be in terms of microseconds or milliseconds, because these at least in milliseconds, because these decisions need to be very instantaneous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So apart from that, I was just wondering that you mentioned about the transaction cost and something like that, right? So
Yeah.
how do we measure that sort of a transaction cost while we are actually computing and everything? Because there are a lot of infrastructure costs involved in that, right? A lot of manpower involved in that. So how do we do we have any sort of formulas to measure the transaction cost?
At this point, I don't have anything, but yeah, I can really explore on that and come back.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, any questions from the audience do we have? Let me pull it up very quickly if we have. No, we don't have. So I have a couple of more questions for you. So with regards to Anna, but you mentioned about the advantages, right? The security, versatility, scalability. So in that case, I was just wondering that what sort of advantages you see, probably at the must part you have mentioned about cost effectiveness. So again, I would love to know your thoughts about cost effectiveness advantages and what could be the things where you feel that it could be in cost effective.
Yeah, see, it depends on the applicability of the edge computing. So edge computing is applicable where the response should be time sensitive, and in remote locations where we don't have a centralized data center for a cloud or something like that. So in those cases, edge computing comes. It means it cannot replace cloud computing. That's for sure. So cloud and edge both has its different applicabilities.
Okay.
And we know like cloud computing. So that's why I told like edge comes with more cost effectiveness, where cloud cannot provide proper infrastructure.
Okay, so any difference do you see in deployment of cloud deployment as well as edge cloud deployment? What is the sort of a difference do you see in that?
Okay, for cloud deployments, yeah. So like I mentioned, like services are hosted in cloud, and clients are hosted in the devices. So yeah.
Okay, so it's more about we would love to know about probably the things which are not there on a Google, right? And the way you have experienced it while you guys are installing it, because you are doing day in and day out, right? So probably you can share your thought process with which are not there.
Yeah, so actually, I have not worked in an implementation of edge computing. For me, also, it's a kind of a research paper. So we are currently exploring on this idea. And I don't have any real life example how the deployment was done like that.
Okay, cool. So any other questions from the audience part? Because I am actually done with my set of questions what I had so far for Arnab. So any questions I would love to hear from the audience. Oops. Okay, so let me share my screen very quickly. So in that case, I would like to thank you, Arnab, for your session. Probably the one actually who are there part of the sessions, they can always access the feedback URL and help us out with the feedback on the sessions. This was probably a marvelous sessions, Arnab, from you with regards to the network, which is actually making a lot of sense. Because we guys are doing day in and day out with the mobile applications and with the multiple devices across, right? And we guys are actually getting dependent on internet day in and day out, because we cannot even Google, because everything whatever we guys do it day in and day out, we used to Google it out, right? And we have a dependencies on internet, and now every single town, dick and harry are actually having an access of an internet. So how probably you can utilize that particular things, how data are getting more important, what are the things you need to make sure. So what are the lapses which we might come across for an important task, what we guys are doing it for now, right? So that's a pretty awesome session, Arnab, from you. I appreciate your thoughts, and I would actually thank you for the time and sharing your knowledge pool with us and with the audience as well. So thank you so much, Arnab.
And thank you, ATA GTR, as well, for giving the opportunity.
Great, thank you.